Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here again with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 13, episode 11 of season 3 of Riverdale called The Red Dahlia. And boy, this is just another episode loaded to the gills with crazy and it's fun. It's fun stuff. So let's just kind of get right into it. Man, there's just so much stuff going on here. Um, I do like that they kind of did sort of wrap up that lingering weirdness from season 1 with Clifford's death. Yeah, big surprise, Penelope killed him. And the only thing I really had problems with in that storyline was when Betty confronts her, Penelope says, well, hey, Hal told me that you serve Chick up to him on a golden platter. If I go down, I'll take you down with me. Um, well, okay, you can do that, but there's no way Hal is going to let his daughter go to jail too. So he'll just say, oh no, Penelope's lying. I killed Chick out of my own accord. Because, I mean, it's hardly a secret that Hal didn't like Chick. So, and seeing as how Betty would have been the one that caught her, no one would have any reason to believe Penelope. So Penelope's threat makes absolutely no sense. And honestly, at the end where Hermione and Jughead have that confrontation, and he basically lays out like, yeah, I know about all this stuff she did. She says, okay, okay, you got me. But if I go down, I'll take your dad with me. Okay, that's a little more believable, but what exactly does she have on FP? She doesn't know that he's the one that shot Hiram. Or, well, no, I don't take that back. She knows that he's the one that shot Hiram. She has no proof of this. And, as she went along with the whole situation with Tallboy, I mean, really, what exactly does she have to threaten FP with? I really just don't get it. There's no evidence that FP did it. And if she does finger him, well, it's just like, oh, well, you're just pissed that the guy that you just appointed sheriff, turned around and locked you up. And that would be pretty believable. I have to believe that Jughead would kind of only went along with that because, his dad's maybe still on parole and this could get him thrown back in. But, appointing a guy sheriff who would still be on parole seems kind of weird, but yeah, Riverdale has been very loose on the logic of all of this. I think the only thing that really works in terms of believability as to why Jughead would go along with it is he doesn't want anybody nosing around while he's still got Tallboy's corpse stashed in that bunker. Because anybody who sniffs around his dad a lot is going to sniff around him, and that's not something he wants right now. I do like that they did, kind of remind us that, yeah, FB has good reasons for wanting Hiram dead, namely, the Ghoulies beat Jughead near to death because, of Penny Peabody, who is one of Hiram's agents. So, yeah. And I love Jughead's narration and all of this. I mean, Riverdale is a show that it knows better than to try and take itself seriously. And that's the great thing about it. It just completely revels in exactly what it is and makes no apologies for it. Veronica kind of stepping in to sort of keep her dad's mob business going doesn't really make sense. I mean, you wanted your family to get out of being mobsters, being in the mob, especially back in season 2. If it falls apart, isn't that good? I mean, yes, your family's primary source of income would go away, but it's blood money, so why are you not okay with that? It makes no sense. I mean, the only thing I can really think of is that Veronica is trying to keep up the show strength because if the people come in, they're not just going to take Hiram's money and stuff and walk away. They're going to coming to look to put Hiram in the ground, and probably Hermione and possibly even Veronica along with him, just to make sure. I mean, the mobsters are not exactly known for being fans of loose ends, after all. And Hiram came back from the brink once before. So yeah, I can understand why let's finish this guy off would be on their minds. So that's the only real reason I can think that Veronica would be okay with this nonsense. Let's see here. Um, hmm. uh, yeah, not much else to say about that. I'm not surprised she didn't want to know the truth at the end, but I think that's just them laying on the noir a little too thick. Um, oh yeah, and going back to Betty for a minute, I really do like these scenes with her and how they are really adding a lot to Hal's character, and just sort of the messed up situation that Betty is in, where her serial killer dad is actually the more reasonable of her parents. Uh, hmm. Archie kind of hitting rock bottom here, picking a fight, getting pissed off at his dad, drinking, and of all people, it's Josie that comes and knocks some sense into him. Because they didn't get off to a very great start back in season one, and she was dating her friend, and that ended rather badly. Um, Kind of wondering if now that the whole Veronica situation is not looking so great, they might try pushing Archie and Josie together, and have her sort of substitute the thing that was only briefly going on with Melody. Possibly, possibly. It certainly would be an interesting thing to kind of see where it goes. Especially now that we've kind of got like a thing with Reggie and Veronica in the mix, just to sort of just keep moving everybody around the romantic chessboard. Um, let's see. Uh, the bit where Archie goes, the thing that gets me though, the most about this episode that really drove me nuts, was at the end, Archie kind of makes that deal with Hiram, a life for a life. I'm like, Archie, come on. When has making a deal with Hiram, when has like Hiram ever kept his word about anything? And yeah, you would get to live your life in peace in Riverdale, but Hiram's thing is screwing up and making Riverdale a worse place. How long are you really going to be able to stand that? And Hiram is not a man to be trusted. You swore a blood oath together, and then you sent a guy to kill your father. Another thing I liked was the scene with FP and Jughead down in the bunker where Tallboy's corpse is nearby and apparently doesn't stink for some reason. FP sees completely through Jughead's bullshit and just is like, yeah, you better come up with a better story really quick. And of course, that reveal where FP tells Jughead the truth, that was wonderfully done. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about this episode? Oh yeah, Hermione and Minetta. That was some surprising stuff, and we basically get to see Hermione Minetta. Uh, yeah, interesting to see. I mean, this has been a really great season for Hermione as a character. She's come across as a much more conflicted and interesting character than she's been in the previous seasons, which is good. I really do want to see just where everything with her goes. And we still got to find out who the real Gargoyle King is. So yeah, it's just going to be great and crazy, and I love it. All right, guys, I'm going to call it here. So as always, please comment, rate, subscribe, and I will catch you later.